hey, you guys, I want to introduce you to two of my favorites, Stephanie Condit and Lisa Kilts. Oh my gosh, these guys are longtime friends of mine, and they are a treat. Wait until you hear what they have to say. I know you guys are a treat, right? Yes. Shake your head. Yes. Yeah, look, they are.
Yes, we
They're
are.
admitting that they're a treat. Okay, so here's the thing. The intention behind wanting to talk to Steph and Lisa today is because of this Wow Life movement. And we have all these coaches, and which, Steph and Lisa are coaches as well. And they have a group in Ark City, Kansas. Yeah, where is Ark? Where is Ark? Okay, Ark City, Oxford, both. They live like 20 minutes apart. But, Ark City, Kansas, Oxford, Kansas is even a smaller blip on the map than Ark City.
1,200 people.
1,200 people. That is amazing. And so with that, it's just amazing how there's all this wealth of beauty for one and knowledge for another that's coming out of this location. So I wanted to share with you guys my friends today, and they're going to talk about the, what do you guys call it now? I know you've done a lot of work on this. What are you titling this?
It is. Well, it's the personality gifts. So it's the I am personality gifts. It's what God sends you to earth with to filter life through.
Yes.
So
you know what? That's awesome, because you know what, it goes with the syllabuses that are coming up. There's an I am syllabus that we're doing in May. So how exciting is this? So the intention really is to pull on Steph and Lisa's understanding of this that they've been working on for a long time, and they've helped me many, many times with with these different gifts types. And so I wanted to share them with all of you. So Steph and Lisa, here we go. Now, I know that there is some burning questions that people always have to ask you, and I'm one of those people. When it comes to the 7 personality gifts, what is the number one question that people always want to know?
Number one question.
I would say, they want to know, this is funny, but it seems like in all of our teaching, people will go more to their spouse or a coworker. I want to know who they are, what makes them think the way they think, than themselves, and they just want to know what makes them tick. What does that look like?
Well,
and why did God make me this way?
Yeah.
I would say in our setting, because we are in a church setting a lot, mostly, it's like, why did God make me this way or them this way? Probably them this way more than me this way.
Yeah.
Well, it is. So there's a couple of things. One, it's like trying to figure out what their gift is.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people will pick the personality based on what they want to be versus what they really are, because there's that search for significance, or that just, so there's you have to deal with that a lot. And then it's, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, that's really, it's the reason why I wanted to start with that question is because from an HR perspective, for me, I'm usually looking for the right person for the right role,
Yes.
And because you don't want to use certain types in a certain role, because it will be disastrous. And so that's the reason why I wanted to start with that question as to why we even want to do this, why we even want to have this talk, right? So, okay, so using that as a starting point, and I get it, people want to understand, why the heck is that person acting that way? Or can they just sit down and shut up,
Right.
Or on these Zooms that we're doing with our groups, why are there typically these people over here that are always talking, and these people never say anything?
Right. That's the same people always ask questions. Yes.
Yes. So you guys, let's start with the 7 different personality gifts. If you can just like go down the list and let's run through those, and maybe then you can go in and share however you will about each one, and then we'll, come back and unpack it a little bit more. What do you think?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can just jump off, it's because it's out of Romans 12 is the list. Now, what we have done is we have renamed the gifts because of the, unfortunately, because in the church, when the first gift was named prophet, and so many people took that as a label that they were a prophet in the church. And so we wanted to get rid of some of those church titles, that out, because that had nothing to do really with their gifting. So we have renamed it, so it's not going to exactly match what's out of Romans 12, but this is where we're jumping off from, out of that scripture.
That's perfect.
So anyway, so the first one we call the reformer, and just as an overview, it's just because they like to reform things. They bring change.
Oh,
so they're and they have lots to say about it.
And you just got confirmed by the ding.
Right. Yes. And they filter, their life is filtered by problems. It's what it looks like.
Solving
problems. So they see a problem and they want to solve it. And they always do solve it. What they have to learn is that not every problem's theirs to solve.
Oh,
That's where they get in trouble, is when they start meddling in places that God did not have planned for them to solve, because there are problems every day. We know that. So
this is the gift that is going to be asking questions on the Zoom. This is the one that's going to be talking a lot on the Zoom, because they're not shy. They don't have a problem saying what they think. So they're going to be, 50% of the talkers on the Zooms for sure.
Okay. So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have a reformer, how are they at building relationships and being coaches?
Well, here's the deal with them. If they're in their passion, so if people is their passion, people and the word and that type of mentorship, then they're going to be great. They really are. They're going to be great at it. Yes. But if they are not, if people is not their passion, then they're not going to be the best at it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's good. That was just a burning question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of their struggles will be they are very black and white. So that's their big struggle. That would be their big ego struggle, is they see everything black and white, right or wrong.
That's the big tree problem.
It's the tree problem.
The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This is America. This is why us Americans, the Western people, have problems with this.
Yes.
Black and white. We
Right
want the
wrong.
Truth. We want the right answer,
Right.
because everything's black and white.
Okay, so you just made a very valid point. And you were saying this is why the American people. So you see the USA as a particular type?
Reformer. We're the reformer. Our continent is the reformer redemptive gift. They're always solving everybody's problems, getting involved where maybe they should or shouldn't. And
good, bad, or ugly, they're getting involved. Yes.
Hey, so have you thought about the other continents?
Yes.
Okay, well, when we get to the other 7 or the other 6, if you will share that information with us as well, that would be awesome to know.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have that in front of us, but if we can remember, we will.
Yes.
Yes. So their superpower is leading people out of bondage and poverty.
Amazing.
That is huge, huge. So when they can overcome their ego, which is, we just learned this from Kirby and Fiona, we didn't know that's what it was, but that's exactly what it is. When they learn to bring that ego under the spirit.
That's good.
That's going to be their superpower.
Yeah. I mean, it really could be another name for the ego.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's awesome, you guys. Oh.
So then the next one is the life giver. We call it the life giver.
Okay.
Yes, they're wonderful people.
In the Bible, in Romans, they call it the servant. But we
Okay.
felt like life giver is a better term for
Mhm.
today's time. So yeah,
So everybody loves this gift.
Right. Oh, I love
Easy to get along.
love this gift.
yes, yes.
Okay, so who in the Bible would you guys say is a servant?
So Esther is one example.
Mhm.
Let's
Who was
see.
the other one that we just?
Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph, the
Oh,
stepdad of Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. So they are all about supporting others. So they're just wonderful people. They don't ever have a intention of I'm going to support this person so that I can be number two. They don't want that position. They just want to help others. So
they're not going to be saying anything on Zoom.
yeah.
They're going to be in the background and they don't want to say anything on Zoom.
And they might try, and someone else, probably a reformer, will speak up,
And then they'll back
just
off.
Go back off. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
So
yeah,
like this is really good if you're the coach to recognize that those gifts aren't going to speak up and be vocal.
yeah, because we have, I don't think we have this one, but we have some of another gift that doesn't speak up very often, and so we always
You have
say,
to ask.
what do you think, about this, so that she gets a chance to talk too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of talkers.
She
in our
talks
group.
once a meeting. That's it.
Oh,
And it's always profound.
It is. It's always
it
brilliant.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is one of the things too that I can't help but draw that gift out. I want to hear what they have to say because usually what they have to say is really big versus somebody that talks a lot and says nothing.
Mhm.
Man, those servant people, when they're in their heads thinking away, I'm like, oh, I want to hear what they have to say. Yeah, awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
Yep.
So their superpower.
Well, wow.
Well,
they do struggle saying no to people. Just because that's a big ego thing for them, is learning that you don't have to say yes all the time. And
like learning their value,
their
that they're
value.
valuable. But
their ego would tell them they're not valuable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that would be their hard part, that they really don't have a value. But their superpower, once they get past that, is to bring joy and refreshing.
yes.
We need that.
We
so
do.
they bring life. That's
They're-
why we call them the life giver.
Yeah.
Because they really do come and refresh and restore that life,
Yes.
people, places, and things.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah. So the next gift is, or do you want to know any more about that one? Shall we go on?
Well, I can be protective of this gift because I know that they do struggle with setting boundaries and they're such wonderful, good people. Well, I love all of them. I love all people.
You're
But
the people person.
people,
Yeah.
All about the people, Rose.
right. But the servants, they're just precious people. And so I feel like that they are very obedient. Am I off on
Yes.
that?
No, they
They
are. They're very obedient, and they can definitely be taken advantage of
They
real
can
easily.
be used and victimized.
Yeah.
Because of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
yes. Yes.
Well, so the next gift is the researcher, which in the Bible it's usually called the teacher, but because this has nothing to do with teaching, they really are a gift that has to validate their own information. So
That's great.
what we always say about this gift is don't be offended if they don't believe you, because they are always going to validate whatever you tell them. They got to validate it themselves. They want to go research it themselves. And so, but they are a dispenser of truth.
Well, that's really helpful though too, because if you have somebody that doesn't have a lot of time to do deep research in an area and you need that research done, yeah, go grab one of these people.
So how it's going to apply like in this new movement, I mean, this would be really helpful to know that if you have a person in your group that is this gift, they're not ever going to jump on board. Like just hear new information, jump on board. They're going to go away and research it themselves and decide yes or no. So they're just
Yeah.
So it's like just to not be offended that it's just allowing them to go and ponder and marinate or, discover the truth on their own.
That's really interesting because I almost wonder if, when we look at the grand scheme of things and when we think about this movement and with the message that, has been downloaded to Kirby and Fiona and us trying to recruit and invite new people, if you have some of those teachers that are still stuck in a little bit of the old way, I could see where this could be a challenge for them to be like, yeah, you guys, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you guys seeing that?
Oh yeah. The new is
they
a
might,
challenge.
Yeah. They might kind of come in, but then they'll like draw a line like, no, that's because, that doesn't fit their paradigm or what they've learned before. They do stay in the old longer than most. They struggle with that.
So how can we help those types get on board with this new revelation and thinking differently?
I don't think you can help them. You have to let them go be.
You just have to.
It really isn't. They're like trying to help the process go faster.
It's not going to go faster.
It's like it really just.
It's not going to go.
I'm married to one, so I'm married. We've been together 41 years now, and I can tell you, it's not going to go faster.
Don't waste your time. Just let them go.
Just let them go,
and then they'll come back. It's like a little bird. Let it go. If it was meant to be, they'll come back to you.
And really, what I've noticed is, why we're all here together is so like God places people like me in their life because then they can go off. They love to go off example and truth. So they're kind of like the reformer. It's all about truth. They see what's broken and they can fix it. They're really good at that, but they don't talk as much as a reformer usually, unless you're on their subject. But if you live an example to them of how something works, they're in then.
And then you're not going to get them off of it.
Then you're not going to get them off of it.
Like then they're 100% in, but they're going to be 100% in, 75% behind everybody else.
Okay.
It is taking a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but then you think about Joseph.
Yeah.
So, he had some supernatural experiences, and he was in.
Wow. Yeah.
No, that's a life giver. I'm thinking. No.
Right. Yeah. You're a researcher. Yeah.
So researcher. Yeah. They're in. When they're in, then they're in.
Okay. So, is there a particular Wow Life message that you guys have listened to? Because I know that you've listened to everything 3 times. But is there a message that you can think of off the top that I could take and share with a teacher? Sorry, not teacher.
Researcher.
To help them even be introduced to it.
Right.
Well, I think when we're talking with this subject matter, having the scripture probably is really beneficial. Some gifts don't need the scriptural reference for things, but this gift, I think that is helpful for them to have the scripture reference to some of the things we talk about.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So far to me, if you can get them started to watching this stuff, Kirby's and Fiona's, their Sunday morning is wonderful. I mean, because they don't go as deep, so it'd be a good introduction, but they do always lay a scriptural foundation that I think is very, very helpful. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's helpful. I think it's helpful for all of us. So, okay.
Yes. Okay. Oh, their superpower is dispensing key information and protection from the predator spirit. So when they overcome their ego, they are very high on protecting others from being victimized.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Great. Yeah.
All right. So the next gift is your gift, Rose.
Oh, okay. This will be interesting.
Yeah, this will be fun. Okay. We call them the encourager because they really do come to encourage the people.
The people, those people.
Yes.
That is what this gift, they're always focused on people. They love people. They love being around people. They don't have to be by themselves. So they're like the probably 40% of the people talking on the Zoom will be this gift.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't have trouble talking.
No.
So
No. Well, I think that too, the way I can recognize who an encourager is the amount of emojis they use.
that's so true.
I mean, we have them available. Why not use them? They bring color, they bring, whatever.
They're fun. They're funny.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
This gift, though, bar none, is the best Zoom coach, particularly, I would say, because you're when you're on Zoom, you're not with people that so they're not going to have a problem getting on there talking to people they don't know. That's just not a problem.
Yeah,
they are people magnets. People love them. The only ones that don't love them sometimes is the reformer gift because they're not quite serious enough.
Yeah.
They struggle with
too
that.
much fun.
They're having too much fun.
Too much.
Too much fun.
Yeah. Or maybe even the researcher might struggle with it a little bit because they're not serious enough. So yeah, but fabulous.
So your gift, the encourager, makes friends like a microwave, and like my gift makes friends like a crock pot, so it takes a little while to get comfortable doing Zoom stuff like that.
Well, do your normal face. Yeah. When you scan a room, we can almost always pick out her gift, which we'll talk about in a little bit, just by the look on their face.
That is so funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Funny.
I'm serious.
You just gotta love it. Oh.
So you
Okay,
guys, your gift is the big picture. I mean, if that's easy for you, so you're not focused on like the researcher, like, is that little thing truth or not? You can take something and not even have to be true or not and kind of see the big picture. So that's so good to have, to not be so focused. You have the wide vision that Kirby talks about, like, I'm a runner, walker, and not staying, like, widen your vision and the things you miss by staying so narrow, and you're wide. You can see stuff that others can't.
Well, and you make people comfortable. So you don't know who they are, but you talking to them, they feel comfortable because they don't know anybody else on the Zoom. They don't know anybody else at this group, but because you're talking to them, they feel comfortable. That's
oh my gosh.
the power you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I on prayer journeys, when I used to do that, I always hated to go with an exhorter because I'm not like that. And they always want you to go up and talk to strangers and stuff. And I'm just like, just don't look at them. I don't know right now. I don't know who that person is.
oh my gosh, Lisa, I never knew that about you. No wonder, because I'm like, yeah, come on. It'll be okay. They'll be fine.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not okay.
It's uncomfortable.
You guys, it just happens. It just happens.
It's wonderful,
It's
though.
wonderful. That's the great thing about it.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes. And you meet some amazing people.
Yes. I meet them after you meet them.
And then you bring in, like, we all gather because you bring them in, and then we get to meet them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yes.
But we got struggles.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got issues.
You have a hard time saying no to fun. So you can run late
a
lot. You have overcommitted.
All the time.
Yeah. It's a thing. It
It is a
truly
thing.
yeah,
It is. It is.
truly is a thing. Now, I will say though, with this, you know, because you guys, and I'm not sure, you may talk about this, but you know how you spiral up as you get healed, you know, and you spiral up.
Mhm.
Well, one of the things that in my background, because I have many years of corporate experience, rigid corporate experience,
Mhm.
that has really helped me in my gift to know when it's time to get serious, like this data privacy stuff. Do I like data privacy? Data privacy is not a party, but it's a must have. And because, you know, because I do see things bigger and wider, I'm like, whoa, this something has to be, you know, some we have to look at this. And so it's deep into the minutia of a thing, but I think that because of my previous experience has helped me be able to drill down and get serious about things. But generally that's, I mean, I'm going to have to press a little bit into that sort of thing. So
Yeah,
because
In the
who likes,
non-fun
who likes
stuff.
that kind of stuff?
I know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I know. I know. But
You do,
you
right?
do it. You like it.
Yeah, and
I
we
don't.
love you for it.
Yes, we
Well,
do.
you keep me fun.
Oh my gosh, you guys are
Yes.
so funny.
So do you want to know what your superpower is?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when you get over your ego,
Oh,
the hard part, your superpower is bringing people together for a cause.
oh
So
wow.
you are just right in
Mhm.
position where with what you're doing right
Mhm.
now.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
just
how
great.
beautiful is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay.
Doing it. You're
Okay,
a living
awesome.
example.
I need to know where the rest of the exhorters are out there. That would be a major party, you guys.
Where
Right.
yeah.
Steph. Oh,
It's just
okay.
scary. We'll be tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next gift. What is?
The transformer.
Transformer.
In the Bible, they're called givers, which is always confusing because if you call someone a giver, then they think that means they're just going around giving all the time, and that is not the truth. So, the I just love being a transformer. That's me.
Yes, yes,
So
that is you.
the thing about this gift is they are not black or white. They're not big on right or wrong, really, mostly. So they're gray.
So they do really well in this little movement.
In this new transition, which has always been in anything. So, you know, pretty much my life from 18 years old on, I have always been in trouble with somebody because it's like I'm always delving into things I probably shouldn't be delving into because, you know, in the religious world, I was always getting in trouble and getting the look like, shut up, you're.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how it's always been for me.
But Lisa, you've stepped into things, like you've stepped into things easily. I mean, it's like you've seen things way in advance, right?
Yeah.
And you stepped into that. And so you could maybe, and I don't know, I don't want to speak for you guys, but it seems like you could help people, you could help those researchers.
Well, that's what we're saying is it doesn't seem to be that way.
Okay.
Yeah, because
All
the
right.
ones that we're around, it doesn't matter. They're not going to, I mean, my husband will listen to me, but he still has to validate.
Sure.
So yeah. But that's just that's easy for me. That's just something that's easy. I don't have to sit and think about it. But I you know, my gift could probably get off on the deep end somewhere sometimes because I don't have to validate everything. I do love to research stuff and understand the mechanics of stuff, but I don't have to. It's like not doesn't drive me.
Yeah.
But I mainly gather information to give to others. That's kind of what this gift does is you just gather all this stuff and then give out. So, and I'm very generational. I mean, I'm thinking about the future generations and how this could be so big for them. This move could be so big, and we're so excited that that's come in, because I've been asking God, what the hell are we going to do for these future people? I have grandkids, and it's like,
Right.
what? So this is life-giving to me. This is information that I'm not getting off of, and I'm walking it out with my little 5-year-olds.
Aww, my
So,
friends.
and it's easy for them, so that's exciting.
It is easy, but you know what? And I remember, you guys would say when we would talk about, the wow stuff and Kirby and Fiona, you guys would say, yeah, I feel lifed today. I mean, that's just so beautiful.
Yes, yes, it is. It's very beautiful. So, what's my ego? My ego is,
Well, you don't like to be uncomfortable. You like to be safe. Like you don't want to have to be have faith.
Right.
Fortunately, you guys are good friends.
That's so true. It's and it is, God will deal with you right where your ego is. So, Lisa quit your job. Well, Rose has been through that too. And it's just like, what? So, and that continues on even to this day. I'm still having to walk that faith walk, which these teachings about the ego are so big, so exciting.
Well, it's just so obvious that the circumstances in our life are absolutely directly connected to changing our ego to where we can, maneuver through that or not. But that's what it's doing. It's challenging our ego.
So true. So, okay, let's go back to monogenetic stuff a little bit. So Lisa, with you continuing to have to increase in your faith and that stress, does that mean that it's going to equal, Lisa, long life?
Could, if I learn to walk out the stress correctly, because up until the last year, I would say I haven't been, because I have some health issues from not walking the stress out right. So this, once again, these teachings are wonderful for me, because it's just teaching me how to walk the stress part of your life out. We're all going to have it. It's just going to happen. So,
yeah, that's
very,
really good.
very, very helpful. So, yes. So my superpower is to bless and give life to new things.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I see that.
So that's probably why I'm always ahead a few years, because God's getting me ready to bless it, which, that's exciting.
It is. It's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Next, it's you.
Yeah. So the next gift is the achiever. It's called the ruler in the Bible.
The ruler. That's why
the ruler.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody. If there weren't us in the world, nothing would get done.
So true.
But for all those that are my gift out there, let me tell you, nobody cares if you have your notebook organized and color coded and stuff. Nobody cares about what is exciting for us.
Oh my gosh.
I try to care. I know, and I appreciate that, but people gloss over. You can tell.
Okay, so when you said notebooks organized and color coded, it took me back to January with Linda and her notebook.
Oh yes.
I was
so excited about it.
Me, I got them too. Color tab every year, new year, tabs, color coded, everything.
And she'll come in and say, look,
happy, very happy. Let me show you. Nobody cares.
So wait a second. You're saying that Linda is an achiever?
Well, it's very, very possible, because she does have the look.
She has the look too. The achiever look.
She does.
Okay. This is great. This is fabulous.
Because she can get a lot done.
A lot
done. If it weren't for our gift nothing would get done.
We just
You
talk
know
about
what?
it.
That
We
is
just
so
don't talk
true.
about it. Yeah.
That is so
But-
true.
But if we were the only ones in charge, we would get everything done and then we could just die
No
and we
fun.
would have no fun
No fun.
because everything would get done.
It'd be done.
So
Now, I will say that absolutely, I love you guys. You guys can get some crap done. I mean, and I know it's amazing.
I'm
And
just a little worker bee. Like,
yes,
what do you want me to do now?
it's a good day or a bad day if you get your list done. Depending on-
well, I have said, I've made this comment, and some have heard me say this, that, Linda's a machine.
And she is.
And you know what? You know what, Steph? You are too.
I know.
Yes.
Supernatural machines.
Yeah,
It-
they are.
It is amazing. Now, sometimes though, I don't know, Lisa, sometimes do you feel like maybe the rest of the group feels like slackers up next to them? I mean, how do you keep
They
up?
should. let me just tell on this gift for I can tell you, because we can get so focused on trying to accomplish the goal that people's feelings, people's anything can get washed out. They can get run over because we're trying to accomplish this. So we can be very non-spontaneous and get in a twit if the schedule is disrupted.
Oh,
So these people as coaches could potentially have some trouble because one, they can be a little bit not personable until they get to know people. And then they want to stick on schedule. So if we have a reformer that's going on and on and on, and they're not staying within the 20 minutes of the icebreaker,
uh-oh.
you know what I'm saying? Then
They can get a little testy.
and then they get the second look.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And it comes across on Zoom.
It does.
you know what? And if it's recorded.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
that
they
is so-
can be a little grumpy to deal with. And that's only because something's not getting done like it's supposed to be done. So they have to maybe relax a little bit and be a little more flowy.
Flowy, which is how I've helped immensely. We help each
Yeah.
other. I help her be flowy.
Yeah, that's
She'd,
awesome.
she'd still be eating the same 3 foods. If I weren't in her life, she'd never try anything different.
Oh my
If
gosh,
it worked,
Stephanie.
yeah,
Yeah.
we would never stop. Like, oh, let's stop there. She just kind of gives you the look like that's not on our list.
That is so funny. Okay, so how do achievers handle the encourager?
Well,
I think they bring balance.
yeah.
If everyone realizes who they are, that's where this teaching is so wonderful. In a work setting, family setting, church setting, any setting, is to realize the gift in the other person and work together with it instead of against it, which is what we have typically tried to do before. I mean, most people don't even really realize that others think differently. Like that's not how they process. So they're expecting everyone to process the same way. So that they work together. I mean, they bring balance.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because you honor. It's all out of honor.
Mhm.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can either choose to be in your ego and be offended or bitter, or you can choose to get in the spirit of who you really are and honor the gift in others.
Yeah. So good. So
Yeah.
good.
And yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Value. Yes.
Value. The value is very important. So,
Know your superpower and step into it.
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then honor those around you, because that's the biggest thing that I love to see is I mean, I love it when people let me be who I am,
Right. Yeah.
you know, and then I'm letting them be we get a lot done.
We
Dude, we get a lot done just from that concept.
But we do. Yes. it
I
is
let her
true.
do what she's good at. She
Mhm.
lets me do
Mhm.
a little tiny bit compared to her because I'm not as good as much as she is. But we just
But she does it. She brings in the new. That's the whole thing. She's always ahead. She brings in the new. So it really becomes that honor. I mean, this is the beauty of having this understanding and honoring the other gifts.
Wow.
But the thing that's good about this gift, if they're in that position as coach, is that they are going to be faithful to it and they're going to do what they say.
Yeah, absolutely.
They really are like going to follow the rules because that's what they do, because that's they're good with instruction. So where they have to learn is to be a little bit flexible. Whereas like the reformer loves to be a little bit more unstructured and they have to be disciplined to fall into more of the structure.
Like we're teaching this typically to a group of people, and we can pick out the reformers pretty quick too. And the thing we've noticed with them is they don't want to admit that that's what they are because they don't want to be pigeonholed into one gift.
Oh my gosh.
2 or 3, and it's like, it's so funny. It's like you're trapping them into this.
Trapping. We're trapping them. Oh, well, you can see where, okay, so if we're supposing that Linda is an achiever, you can see where this whole movement thing was a new piece of meat that she could just sink her teeth into and run with it, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, their superpower is to take anything and make it bigger and better.
Yes,
See?
that's their
So
superpower.
what is she doing it? She's taking it and make it bigger and better.
Dang, that is
So the other, I mean, just the other thing about this gift is that really they can go into a mode where not everything has to be perfect. So that's why as this thing is rolling forward, not everything is perfect, not everything is in order, because it's like that stuff is getting worked out, and that's what has to happen as things roll forward to make it bigger and better. And that's just okay. And if people have grace for that, to allow that to happen, we get through it.
That is so good, because there's been a couple of prophecies out there, or dreams prophecies, about this movement being like a barge. And going back to Airbnb and Uber, they started and just got it going and took feedback from the clients and the customers on how to better build it as they were already moving. And it feels like the same sort of thing. And I'm so grateful for the grace culture that Kirby and Fiona have built to allow things to be okay and not perfect while in movement.
Yes,
Sure.
yeah, that's great, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Last one.
Last one. Ooh.
Better used to be known as Mercy, the comforter.
Comforter.
Their language, their thought process is all about how others feel, and kind of how they feel too.
Yeah, it's all about feelings.
It's about feelings.
Wow.
You'll hear them say, I feel this. So they feel more than they think. They're feelers. So they are in the void. They live in the void, and we have to talk them through the veil to come into reality. They would love to just live in the void all the time. They're like to float, and they really care about people and how they're feeling, or if they're hurting. They're just easy people to they're easy people to have conversation with.
Yeah.
So they're just a little hard to get motivated.
They're not going to be self-motivated. Yeah.
You'll have to, especially if they're not in their comfort zone. If it's not comfortable, it will require some major.
They like to be comfortable, and they like to help you be comfortable.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, one of the things that I think that I figured out, I don't know, I'm going to say this, and you guys obviously are very powerful to correct me. It seems like this particular type can pick up the atmosphere quickly. It's amazing to me.
Yes.
They can. They're already in the void.
They're just wired. They're wired already to be like extra sensitive to the spiritual realm.
All things are heart. It's heart. It's not head.
Feeling.
And so they can get criticized all the time because they're not thinking. They're not thinkers.
Yeah.
You know, they can just be. I love it because they can just be. They don't, but then it can be hard if you're trying to get something done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My wonderful mother who lives with us now is this gift, and literally she can just be, and she loves it because now she really gets to be, because she doesn't have a lot of responsibility. So she can just be in her pajamas till 3 p.m. and she's just happy. They're probably, I mean, the most laid back of all the gifts, unless they're under a tremendous stress of some kind. But they can just be. But yeah.
So if you have a comforter with a life giver mix, that life giver really needs to learn how to set boundaries, right? Or they're going to be doing everything.
People and their children will run all over them, and they'll
Like
be
they'll
be
both be
enablers
victimized. They could both potentially be victimized
if they don't learn to set their boundaries. Boundaries are big for life giver and comforter.
Yeah, the kids could run the show if they were like a couple, you know.
Yeah. And the big thing about this gift is that other gifts, like the researcher and the reformer, could really struggle with is they will feel something, but they won't be able to tell you why. And these two gifts want details. They want to know why you think the way you think, and they might not ever be able to tell you why, because they just feel it. So they're very vital, because some gifts are working just to get to that place. And this gift could maybe really come into some of the meditation stuff and different things easier, because they're able to just void.
Wait, did you say
Void?
Void.
They're in the void.
Okay. Well, you know what? Don't you just love it when Kirby says that? Because it just makes your heart swell with.
Love it.
I know. I loved it when he said, "It's the veil, not the whale." Us Americans, what?
Just be. If you want to say void, I want to say void.
Yeah. Well, see, I think it's been a little easier for me listening to Kirby and them, because I listened to Joseph Prince for years.
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah.
he kind of has that same thing. And so I have already had interpretation class, so I could interpret quicker than others.
It's beautiful. It's just all part of the color of this whole movement, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I love hearing how Western I am. I mean, it's just like so flippin' obvious and sad and
I know.
Wow. So we American.
Or here's the we Americans. Okay, sorry. Back to the
so we digressed, or
we did.
Anyway, those are it. Those are the 7 gifts.
But
wait, did we go through the superpower on the comforter? Did I miss that?
Okay, so the superpower is they help you overcome rejection and abandonment.
Oh.
And they help you to receive the love of the Father.
Whoa,
so in this piece that we're learning that, you can do all these, put your hand over fire, you can do all kinds of gifts and heal people, but if you don't have love, then it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You'll just wear yourself out without the love, and you'll wear everybody around you out. So this gift could be key in helping us enter that love and staying in the love. They're good at it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that's really, really good. So, okay, so just really quick, do you guys tell me about the continents again? Let's go back to that. Okay, so the United States is, you guys think that the United States is reformer.
Reformer. Mhm.
Okay.
Israel is the transformer,
Oh,
the giver, transformer,
I mean, these are countries like England is achiever.
achiever.
yeah.
China is achiever.
Achiever, yes.
Let's see. The encourager is like Latino.
Mexico.
Mexico is the encourager, and if you think about them, they know how to dance and party, and they're always so upbeat. And yeah,
I don't know what Sri Lanka is.
I don't. We have to look into that.
You don't think that they're like comforter? Just kidding. I think that they like to party too.
Well,
yeah,
they could. Yeah. We just
I mean,
haven't.
it looks like they can have some really good parties.
Who's a servant? Who's a life giver?
Omalanga
Amalanga is life giver.
life giver.
Okay, I am sorry.
Guatemala. Yeah. Guatemala, but that could just be that
That area.
I don't know. We might have to do that in a future thing. We have lists somewhere. We just don't have them with us of some of the original people that started this have
done the research on
it.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing that we've learned is it's tied to everything. It's tied to continents, countries, cities. Businesses have a redemptive gift. Churches. So yeah.
And it's just so predictable. So I mean, so when you're living in a land, I mean, even though you're not that gifting, you still can fall into that. So it's like, here we are in America, so it's so easy for us to fall into that black and white because we're living in that land. Where black and white is so important to us, and so we just want to be right.
Yes.
What's the right answer?
Well, the thing that I really have appreciated about you guys helping me with all of this is whenever I meet somebody and get to know them, I'm already like trying to understand who they are because I want to know how I can encourage them. Yes.
Yes.
And also, the other thing too is like, for instance, Steph, your gift, being the achiever, one of the things that, is how much you really do have on your list. I mean, your list isn't 2-3 things. You've got a list of 10 things going on. And if you can get through those, 10 things and they help the whole group. I'm like singing your praises. I want to sing your praises. I want to honor you. I want to say thank you because it's so helpful for the whole. So I'm always trying to think about, okay, what is it that motivates them? How can I recognize what they do well and help motivate and utilize them properly? Because if you put me in a researcher role, oh my gosh, you're going to abuse me.
Right.
And I'm going to suck. And you guys are going to be mad at me. So, I think it's Miles Monroe that talks about abuse equals abnormal use. And so that's why it's important to me to understand, of course, myself, but then others too.
Yes.
Know how to best utilize their gift and get them into that right position, because when that happens, boy, you can get some serious momentum going on.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing. I love listening to you guys, and I love talking to you guys about this stuff. So any last words or things that we need to know?
Well, we just really want to boil it back down to the love of the Father, and that just realizing you're a beloved son of God, and he's got a plan for you, and this plays into it, and it plays into all those around you, and how much better life could be if we just learn to honor others. I mean, to me, that's really what's it about. I mean, if you agree with this teaching or not, we always say it doesn't really matter, because you're still going to do your gift, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
But if you mix this with Kirby's ego teaching and the stuff we're learning from him, I think, wow, this is going to take it up a whole new level than we even ever thought it could.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That is so right.
I mean, it just really does help when you start to identify your ego. I mean, just what he's talking about with the mirror, the black and white. Yeah, you just,
yes,
it's just very predictable. I mean, I could do your mirror. No.
Please help me. So, okay, so really quick, speaking of that, would you, Steph, do you mind screen sharing and showing, to use one of your examples and how that works with the mirror?
On the character, you want the characteristics?
Well, however you, you have your document there, right? Your graphic there of the different.
The graphic is what she's talking about.
The graphic?
Yeah.
This?
Yes.
Yes.
One. Okay. Yep. Yes. Okay. Now. All right. Is it sharing?
It is. It's beautiful.
So the reformer, they are hard on themselves, right?
Yeah.
They have high expectations. They speak the language of truth. So they're constantly in the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right or wrong. And so they would look in the mirror and have to say, I don't have the answer to every problem. I mean, just have to love themselves, because most of the time they struggle with loving themselves, because there's so much in black and white and right or wrong that they're constantly judging. So they could really have more problems with that than some of the others. So as they look in the mirror, that's some of the stuff that'll probably pop out.
Yeah, that's really good.
Them and the researcher both, because they really think they have the truth too, but their truth is all based on head knowledge. They struggle with relationship with the Father, or even with people. Sometimes they just think they don't have enough head knowledge to get through things. So
yeah, that's really good. Really,
they have to admit to themselves that they're not always right.
Well, and what a beautiful graphic you've created too. That's just amazing. I love the way you broke it down. So
so that should be helpful.
Yeah. Okay, so can you send those
Sure.
Send those to me and I'll.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, that's just great. Well, I'm excited to share this with my friends.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That is good. Yeah, scroll up. Let me see the top really quick. Can you do? Oh, look how beautiful that is. You guys have done an amazing job. So thank you.
Thank you. And that 7PG stands for personality gifts. I always
7PG.
What does PG mean?
Right. Personality gifts.
Right there too.
Right. Yeah. For some reason, I just think PG.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Anybody
can look at it at any age.
You guys are so funny. Okay, well, thank you for all of your guys' work. I appreciate it. And I am sure more to come.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.